Okay, I think we're going to get started. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Gita Cartwright, and I look after the broker channel nationally for RPS. My role started about 3.5 years ago. I spent the last more than a decade before that with Genworth, which is now Sagen. Interestingly enough, for those of you that are maybe new to RPS, we are a Brookfield company. And because of that, we now have a new sister company, which is Sagen. So I feel like I worked with them for over a decade, and now I get a chance to work with them as a sister company. Also join with us is Royal LePage. So what that means from a business perspective is that we have so much access to some incredible real estate intelligence and data. So part of that is what I'm going to share with you today. I just kind of wanted to give you the RPS commercial, who we are, and then I'm going to show you a little bit about how to log in. We're going to talk about lead generation, client retention tool, house price tracker, and then I'm going to leave a little bit of time for questions. Laura Forrester, our director of marketing, is hosting with me today. She's in the background. She'll be sending you notes so that you can get links and information. She's also there to sort of field through questions. Don't worry about grammar or anything like that. Just get your questions in. We'll be happy to take them. I'll likely do it at the end. So anything that comes up, certainly if it's anything that doesn't have to do necessarily with house price tracker, which is the tool we're going to share with you today, anything to do with the appraisers, appraisals, the environment that we're in right now, happy to address that anytime. I will tell you that if you're going to ask a question, I believe it's send it to the panelist and presenter, just so that it doesn't go to the entire group if you don't want. It's certainly that way it's anonymous for yourself, kind of, but it just gets seen by us and then we can answer the questions. We'll be 30 minutes max, folks. So hopefully I can let you go a little bit earlier, and that'll include time to go through the presentation and some Q&A. I do want to mention, and Laura was kind enough to remind me, for those of you that are attending the MPC First Time Virtual Symposium, please visit our booth. We're going to be there at the booth, and then we also will be there for roundtable. We'll be discussing this product again and answering other questions that might come up from all of our industry partners out there. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to take you to how to log in. Just bear with me. I'm just going to get on here and I can share it in 1 second here. Cancel, share. Okay. And maybe Laura, I might get you to just, I don't know if you can, I know you're on mute, but if you don't mind just letting me know if you can see this screen or not.
Yep, I can see. Oh, it went away. It was there for a minute.
It was there for a sec. Yep, sorry about that. Everybody, so we practiced this. I promise you, we practiced. So we just lost it, didn't we? Okay, this might be better. Hopefully you guys can see it.
I can see it now. Thanks, Gita.
Okay, sorry about that, folks. So basically I'm going to start kind of from the beginning. What we're going to talk about, like I said today, who RPS is. I kind of gave you that little commercial. What I do want to share is a little bit about the data that we have to share. So almost 1.5 years, 2 years ago, we launched House Price Tracker. This is a report that shows the updated estimated value of your client's home. We launched it initially so that after every full appraisal that you ordered, every 6 months for 5 years, we produce this report. We send it over to you. It has an estimated updated value of your client's home. Then you would get it in your email box. You could, put your own, description on it, fire it off to your client and say, hey, listen, I'm looking out for your best interest. Congratulations on this investment that you either refied or purchased. Here's an updated value for you to share. I just want to keep everything top of mind. Totally amazing in terms of client retention. And we're all looking for ways to connect with our clients throughout the year. So shortly after we launched, COVID hit. And we decided that maybe we needed to add this product on an on-demand basis so that brokers have also a lead generation tool. So this way we offer it 2 ways. The second way I'm going to show you right now, how do you order this? Oh, you can only see my, I haven't gone into the app yet, Laura. She's worried that I haven't gone into RPS yet. Just let me know if you can't see it. So I'm going to show you the two ways. I'm going to start right from the beginning. So if you guys are not registered with RPS, you're going to go into RPS Access. It takes you to this lovely screen. Laura, this one's okay. You can see this?
Yep, big thumbs up here. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, no, I know you were worried. So here would be, I'm going to log in. I go in here all the time, but if you're new and you're a mortgage broker, obviously you're going to register here. It's 2 seconds and then you can get going, but you do have to register in order to be able to get in to order an appraisal, order house price tracker. Also, just a quick side note, we do have webinars that we do. If you click on the view webinars, we have past ones, you can watch them or listen to them, and then we have ones that are coming up so you can register there, but you do need to register and to get into this so you can see all this good stuff. And then of course there's information about our broker team, how to reach us, and then all the lenders that we work with. So house price tracker is here. So you're going to click on house price tracker and you can see on the left hand side a map pops up. And as you start putting the address of the home that you want to do a bit of research on, you're going to see the map's going to change a little bit. So I'm going to put in, this is actually a real property. And you can see here that Canada Post will sort of give you a validation of that address. If the property is rural or it's very remote, sometimes it's a PO box, there might be maybe have a hard time actually validating the address. That's a little few and far between. This product is coast to coast, so hopefully you don't have any issue with that. We do need to know the style of the house. So for example, in this case, it was a single family detached, the purchase price, and the date. The reason we need to know this stuff is because we use our amazing house price index, which is data that we've gathered that shows us from a starting point that you give us, what can we expect that the house has grown in that period of time? And that's kind of why we need that starting point. If you are, and I get this a lot from brokers, I'm just going to play with the amount and the date because I'm not sure. We welcome you to try and you know, play around with this tool, but just remember that the integrity of the data, once you start guessing, that can really change things. So just be really wary of that part of it. So in terms of address, there you are, 2015. Okay, you can add a renovation if you want. Now, when we launched this quickly for our broker partners, we wanted to be able to offer lots of different renovations, but it's a kind of a big IT build. Laura was a big part of that, so she knows. So we do allow one renovation type. So if you're going to do that, pick the biggest one. Pick the pool, or not the pool, the kitchen, bathrooms, and remembering that this product also depreciates. So if your folks did a kitchen 5 years ago and it was 50 grand, it will index based on that amount, but it'll also depreciate based on the time. So it's going to give you a really nice, accurate view of what that renovation will do. So we're not going to do it today because in this case, this home did not have a renovation. We're going to generate the report. It just needs to give it a couple of seconds before the report should show up on the left-hand side. And again, I just want to make sure that everyone can see that. Laura, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it. Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, sorry guys. Some platforms I have to go back in, stop sharing and come back. So I just want to make sure that you can all see it. So as you can see now in this example of the house price tracker report, this is what you're going to get to be able to share with your clients as maybe a lead generation. Maybe it's client retention. I'm just thinking of you, but then there's some conversations that might come out with this is the new value, or maybe I'm having a conversation with my clients about refinancing. What is the expectation of the house value? This gives you a really great idea of what that house value is. So in this case, this house, I'm sure they're pleased as punch that after a few years, short years, it has basically doubled in price. So you can see that there is a range, and that allows for neighborhoods, things like that, where there could be a range of if the house is actually maybe not so great shape, maybe it's the high end of the scale, but you can confidently say this house is pretty much worth $1.1 million today. and you can see that map is on the right-hand side here. The report that we send that is based on the full appraisal that you did with your clients will have the picture of the home because we have that data. It'll also have the client name here because, again, we also have that data. So that's kind of the only shortcoming with this one. But again, you're still being able to provide them with a really nice, well thought out report that you can share with them. There's some information about average values for the property type. And that's kind of why we asked you what type of property it is. What's interesting about this information on the bottom that I find very, useful and valuable is that if you're doing a refinance for maybe the client is either they're downsizing, or maybe they're looking at they need more space, their family is growing for whatever reason, you can take a look at the dynamics of each of the different property types within that area and see how much they've improved. So it's also a great conversation with your folks that are looking at, if they're moving, what that might look like. Also, if I have a database and I know that I'm looking at something for a client in this area, and I know I've done a few more deals, I might get into that piece of data, pull some numbers and see if I could share that, because now I know there's going to be a nice appreciation. Now, I know, like I said, this is coast to coast. There are some markets, I mean, it'll be totally up to you. This report is completely in your control. Because if, I was chatting with some, folks in the prairies, and they've said things have stayed fairly steady for years. And so, in fact, a lot of times they're not ones to be able to really share because the pricing hasn't changed very much. But when things do, which is kind of in the last 6 months, this product's become, a very cool feature for them to be able to share this with their clients. So I will pause for a moment because I did want to just take a second to see if there were any questions. And unfortunately, now that I'm in this screen, I will probably maybe just stop sharing my screen for a moment and see if there's any questions. I don't know, Laura, if there were any questions that came up with this so far.
Nothing yet, Gita.
Okay, awesome. So to me, this is, and I know it is very simple to use. I encourage all of you that are on the call today to get on here. This is for those of you that are new in the industry and you're just building your database. This is a fantastic way to maybe connect with real estate agents and tell them that this is a tool you've got that you're working with. People that are in your circle that you're hoping to create a database with. Maybe you could use them as guinea pigs and say, listen, I'd love to see what your property value is worth. And then, of course, they might be able to share this information to say you've got access to all this data. This is free data, everybody. When we launched this, we wanted to do it for a short period of time. We didn't know how long, our pandemic would last and the effect it would have. And our hope and dream is to maintain this on a free basis, a no-cost basis for you all. As long as we've got, of course, the support for RPS, we want to make sure that we can continue to offer it for free. I would really encourage you to start using it when you're having conversations. Like, it can be used for lead generation, client retention, like I mentioned. We'll help you with that when you order the full appraisal, but also even just having those conversations. I know for those of you that perhaps were heavy Purview users or have heard some of the commentary around the price increases, this might help you on the refinance side. So at least you can take a peek, see what the property value looks like, and then set the expectations with your clients. So I don't see any questions either, unless Laura, I don't think you see anything either. I can't really tell here. Perfect.
Yeah, there is one question that came in.
Perfect. Yeah.
It says, is there some kind of consent required for us to input this information on behalf of the homeowner? Great question.
It is a great question. Actually, there isn't any consent that's required legally, because a lot of this information is basically public knowledge. Public has public access to it, so your land registry and all that kind of stuff. And once you've done the appraisal, we're simply just taking that data and sending it to you to share. So you can certainly choose how you want to share this. We will not send it directly to your clients. It will come to you first so that you can either brand it, or you can type your messaging, or you can create something where maybe you want to touch base with your client. So we allow you to have that control over that. But that's a fantastic question. Any other questions, Laura? I'm trying to go in there to see if I can see them. I don't see any other questions.
No, I don't see any more either.
Perfect. Okay, listen, once this is kind of a quick demo, we just kind of wanted to get you in and out. We really appreciate you joining. Once you've gone in to try it out, if you have any questions, something might pop up later, please don't hesitate. Reach out to me. Once you get into the website or our portal, you'll be able to see my contact information. Please don't hesitate to reach out. We would love your feedback. We've made so many changes to this product just based on your feedback. So don't hesitate to share. And again, thank you for the reminder. Laura, we will be hosting, for those of you that maybe missed, we've been doing in partnership with MPC for your CE educational credits. We have an accredited webinar that's worth 1 CE credit. It's called Understanding the Value of an Appraisal. It's been very popular. We have great feedback. We have a tentative date in November. Please keep checking. And for those of you that register, we will send you out an email letting you know when that will be. So we hope you can join us for that as well. Even if you don't need the credits, please join us. It's a great webinar on how to handle the client expectations when it comes to the appraisal process. And also, what are the key pieces that we need to be looking for as brokers so we can have better conversations around the content of the appraisal. So I think I remembered to say everything you wanted me to, Laura. Don't forget to join us at MPC if you're going. We've got a booth and round table. And thanks for joining us today, everybody. I really appreciate when folks